I would have had to press the button like 9 times to get the recording to start, because if you touch there's a button, that's the share button on PS4 controllers. If you press it once, it takes a screenshot. If you double tap it, that's when it starts the video. But the button is really hard to press, especially quickly. It's not like a big X button or L1 button. It's a tiny little button, probably like not even the size of the fingernail in your pinky. And pressing it twice in a row without missing or just not even hitting it twice at all really isn't always that easy. And so I literally took 3 screenshots before starting the video correctly. So, something I'm probably going to be doing after... I think I'll have to save it till the other extra acts. Because Act 9, 8, 9, and 10 are actually, like, kind of... Well, I say plot advancing. Has there really been that much of a plot here? It's added to what already is there, but it doesn't really add anything new. Or it's not like it's a significant thing, like... Of course, I'm not going to say no, but of course Carbon isn't going to be showing up in anything else, though of all of the characters that are here, even like above myself or any of the other editions, if there was one that was going to show up, it would be Carbon, because of like just the concept of him being a little more fitting, because I basically the idea of the thing itself, the organizer being there, wasn't original. Or was just kind of there, but... Oh, speaking of the devil, he starts next to me in last. Rip you. This is the last track you want to start in last place at, unless you're in a really fast car, like a GT40, like Twin Mill would be. Mortimer just wrecked Alex off the line. That was a little bit crazy. But, like, he has a place, I feel like, in other forms of Hot Wheels media. Like, something like he's, cause, actually, I don't know. I guess if we were to ever do it, we'd have to try and think about it after the first 10 acts have been completed, because that's when 11 are the bonus acts that follow up after every completely new game that is played on the actual channel. So like when we go through like Beat That Again, or like GL Strikes Back, GLSB, Screw Eyes and Strike Back, that was not English. Greased Lightning Strikes Back, that's not a new game. It has to be something completely new, not a game we've already played. I say we, but you know what I mean. It's funny because if I were to do a double upload tonight, or do an upload, actually no. Today is Saturday, I'm dumb. Also, good job, Carbon, that's a wall. Oh, hello, Bubbles, you are running. Beat has definitely broken away, helped by Alex making normal Alex trains. I guess never really found his mojo with that Ferrari that he's driving now. He definitely prefers the F40, I guess. Which I feel like in this particular canon is like his actual car. Like, that is his car of this series. I mean, it got recognized in other LPs of, like, you know, Soul Air being his car in Turbo Racing because it looked like, or you thought that it looked like the Ferrari F40 that he's like drove here in Act 2. Okay, this isn't what you two need. One of you needs to get ahead and try and get to the front. It'd be more beneficial for it to be Buttercup for them, since she is leading points by a single point right now, but this finish, that definitely will not stay, because Rigor Motor is in 5th. And he could be in 4th or 3rd any second now. If you can find an opening in one of these two. Yeah, Buttercup is not doing too well at the moment. And now Burn is in last. Like, I know the guy is usually in the back, but at the same time, I don't even feel anything. I don't even feel anything because of how many. He's got a body count of just like breaking zone takeouts, especially on like XG3. I mean, heck, he's got like 3 in this act alone, and we're not even done with it yet. Our Carbon got in the wall again. I think Blossom did the same. And Bubbles is about to pass me, probably. Yeah. Buttercup is yet still struggling to even score a point right now. She needs to pass a car. It could even be me, depending on how fast I fall through the remaining grid. Because Lord knows I'm not finishing in points. The RX-7 just doesn't work. It's like before my miracle, I'm not staying even here. I can never expect the characters named after characters from other places to be a character. However, I do feel like the likes of Carbon and, whoa, Deliverance. Yeah, Deliverance would be another one that could be prime for the actual series. Carbon, Deliverance, I guess sort of myself in a way. And so Buttercup is passed. No, that's Bubbles' car, it's not Buttercup. From back there, this car looked green. Buttercup is actually falling down more places. Madison and Carbon both faster. Madison would technically work in a way. The only problem with it being that her presence is entirely based off of me, and if I am not a character, then the idea of her being a character doesn't make too much sense. At least with the origin and, like, you know, background that she has here of, you know, the whole personal friend that I haven't seen in a couple of years part. So what are we doing up here? Deliverance is getting a little nutty to try and get some places at the last lap here. Actually through at the fastest lap of the race. Blossom thought about trying to pass Alex, however, she kind of killed her own momentum before she even tried, so... Deliverance, of course, then tried to pass her, but his car doesn't have the handling for that. He is seriously pressing his luck. Because everyone just goes horribly wide in that corner. Buttercup still can't take advantage. Bubbles managed to pass Alex. Blossom could have probably tried, but Deliverance is being a pain in the butt right now, and therefore she couldn't really, you know, try. As we come to the end of the course, Beat takes a victory with XT3 not far away. XT3 cut Beat's lead in half in that one lap, and Mortimer does take a podium in 16 Angels' car. Bubbles sneaks 5th after starting the race in 10th, with Alex coming home in 6th position. Blossom right behind that, and Deliverer and Captain Falcon are far away from there. I managed to bring home a singular point. Buttercup, that race definitely hurt her points run. Though it really doesn't look that bad on paper. It's actually 7 points between each of the top 3 drivers. 7 between Rigor Motor and Buttercup, and 7 between Buttercup and Bubbles. Now we head to Bonzo. Yeah. I just choked on some spit there. That wasn't the greatest. I don't believe I missed the video, but the playlist of all, the videos of the Hot Wheels series. Originally, it was supposed to be that arc from Star Trek Challenge to World Race PS game, whatever system. World Race console version, or not GBA version. But I eventually decided, well, I mean, that's going to be kind of annoying to link multiple playlists. You could probably link the first one. So I just kept them all in one playlist. That's about to hit 300 videos. And, it'll be 300 because I'm going to upload tonight and then tomorrow night, of course, so. It'll either be the finale of Act 7 or the beginning of the next series. That'll be episode 300. My money is on Deliverer, but... well, to start like that, it could easily be Captain Falcon as well. Yes, Kevin, I know you're charging. Go away. The thing is, though, Alex does have some decent top speed from that car. But if Deliverance is half as good as he keeps talking himself up to be, you should be able to beat him in that car, which, yeah, that same car has beaten Alex's Ferrari before in Act 1 when Danny won with it, but of course, Deliverance isn't Danny, he just brought pizza to Danny, so... Rigor Motor did not have a great start. XG3 and Mortimer just crushed him off the line. Lawson also didn't have the best start. Mortimer also overtook her. And obviously Buttercup as well, who is in fourth after passing Mortimer down a straightaway in a crossbow. And she is now right on top of the lead three, Alex, Falcon, and Deliverance. And she's basically brought Mortimer up there with her, though Mortimer really didn't have a good corner there, so he's not exactly an immediate factor in that battle yet. Blossom would like to probably get into it, but she must pass Burn first, and it's not really a pastime that's always pleasant to take part in here at Monza, because we all know how Burn is under braking into corners. And there's a good chance that the vehicle directly in front of Burn here might just be smacked off the road in about 7 seconds. Though Rigor Motor being there might kind of deter him from braking the way he wants to in the first place, so that might be... well, I mean, it's been much worse, but I mean, you can't say I didn't call it. That is exactly what happened. Burn went to brake for the corner, and just sort of didn't, and instead just plowed into Blossom's car. Which didn't really accomplish much, other than just kind of taking her off. Front three got a little bit more spread out. As predicted, the delivery guy, or I'll just call him Deliverance, it's easier that way. It's gonna be his name from Act 8 on, even though the screen says Deliverer right now, and in Act 2 it was Delivery Guy. Alex still fight over second. Alex, not much one for being passed, even if the car that's passing him is superior. Though, generally it hasn't been up until this act, where I gave him his Act 1 car as sort of like a nerf, because he's been winning too much. So he won Act 2, 3, and 4. And his team won in Act 6. So, I mean, he didn't win in Act 5, But that was because, well... What was X5 again? X6 was, X5 was a tier list. Which, did he win the tier? Did he win tier 1? I don't think he did. I think, oh yeah, it was that, because he had Falcon's car from X6. Speaking of Falcon, he is now... Nope. The slide. Buttercup is trailing a little bit. Bubbles has been hit once or twice, but it hasn't really affected her massively. I'm gonna go ahead and guess Beat was doing it. Can only really beat Beat or Carbon. What I saw on the minimap down there, I think it's actually Carbon that's been doing it. Rigor Motor is kind of having a lonely race right now. Blossom being like 4 seconds away, and Burn not really being much closer, being in that slow Countach of his. Which reminds me, I really find it weird how YouTube was like detecting that this is somehow relevant to Lamborghini and Countach, just because I kept saying it in that one episode. It's clearly not, but just like... I guess the YouTube bots heard that I kept talking about Lamborghini Countachs and thought, oh, this must be what this is about. Well, we're gonna relate it to that now, and everyone that watches it must apparently also like the car. YouTube is strange. There's no real describing it. I don't really... If I'm honest here. Well, Deliverance has escaped. But now we have a 5, possibly 6 car fight for second place. And with 5 whole laps to do it, this is going to be a thing to watch. I don't know where I was going with that. It's going to be interesting. We're getting awfully close to Buttercup there. I can't imagine he's too comfortable with that. For more than a couple of reasons. Blossom just tried to become a part of the battle by just apparently trying to kill Mortimer for a second and then thinking a second of it. Buttercup trying to pass Falcon. I mean, she will have to pass one of them to get third place, obviously. That's how the math works. Now this would be interesting to watch. Rigor Motor is about to pass Blossom. Buttercup, I don't think, wants to see this. That also went absolutely nowhere, so never mind. Rigor Motor chickened out into the brakes. With the brakes. Buttercup, that was, yeah, I started to get a little bit, greedy there. Mortimer is approaching. And he approached very aggressively. Buttercup definitely got the short end of that one. And this all sort of plays into the hands of Rigor Motor. He doesn't even have to finish really well right now, but if Buttercup can't really get the finishes that she wants, like if she'd been in that 4th place, she might have actually like made up a lot of ground on him. But right now, she's only gaining, well, about to be 1 point on him. No, still 2, because Blossom will not be passed. This is one of those kind of crunch time moments. Buttercup needs to score a lot of points here. The only problem coming from the fact that this is like the no crossbow course of all the tracks in the game. This is almost undoubtedly the hardest one for them to do well at. Since, as you've clearly seen, the majority of this track is just comprised of straightaways. Something like a real-life version of Toad's Turnpike or something. Now, surely Blossom has been passed, I'm assuming. Or not. X3 too wide with Alex over the line, but X3's car is faster and has a little bit better handling. Though Alex doesn't have as many gears, so here's another demonstration of Alex's top speed that is there, but X3 has such better braking and cornering that it can just do that. No one else really does anything. And actually, Blossom, for whatever reason, tried to pass Buttercup, which I don't really know if that helps either one of them. Bubbles, if she's to stay close to the fight for the lead of points, kind of needs at least 1 point off of Burn here. I don't know how she hasn't gotten it already. Carbon is out of the race, apparently. I saw that on the leaderboard and I was like, wait a minute, why is he behind my AI? Or not my AI, like the pitted car, and we never get to see it either. And he was a lot easier to beat than that, that's for sure. So, it was supposed to be kind of a self-answered question, but I kind of like was not really instructed, but it was just kind of like advised to me by a person that's a comic book freak that I know, and they kind of explained to me of superheroes are generally bound to one location, but they are also meant to assist wherever they can. So if they somehow end up in Tokyo when they're supposed to be saving New York City, if they see something happening in Tokyo and it's not too inconvenient, they'll usually help with that, but normally they're supposed to stay in the town they're bound to. Puppet Bros are of course meant to stay in Townsville and defend Townsville. However, they've ended up here, and well, wherever they end up at the end of this is where they're supposed to be. There's an injustice, that's where they're supposed to be. It's just wherever the crime really is. And it's also strange because this is their home universe. It's not like the Hot Wheels drivers, where they're from the alternative universe where the Hot Wheels cars exist. I just mind blanked. Whoops. But despite all of this, the girls' wrist computers have not been functioning. This is what actually lets them... I'm going now for the video game canon, by the way. This isn't actually a thing from the show, but they have one. They have it in the game, in one of their games, and it's just basically supposed to be a... like phone in for some sort of mini-map UI. But, like, it does other purposes, but that's the main purpose of Fort in the game, is it's a map. Because while the girls might know Townsville, you don't necessarily know it, so... Also, not much has happened in the last few laps. Falcon is finally trying to pass Alex. I think he might get that done, but... it's gonna be a drag race. Blossom gets some run on Buttercup here, but... now they're kind of at the same speed, and this isn't gonna go anywhere. Alex, I think, will win out into the braking zone here. And between the girls, I think Buttercup's still gonna get away, because she was on the left. Bubbles did pass Burn for a singular point. But the only purpose of the wrist computer in that game was that that's what also let them talk to characters remotely. And logically, that'd be how they can communicate with the professor right about now. However, it hasn't been working, and they haven't decided to try and fly back to Townsville because the racing keeps happening. They don't just, you know, travel to these locations. Yeah, they travel between racetracks in the same continent. Like, they travel between the Highlands and Monza, because that's going from Scotland to southern Italy. And they're searching for the organizer, not realizing they found it. Because, again, you know, Williams Spencer disbelief, the other drivers don't know that carbon is, well, at least a half of what's, you know, responsible for this entire event. Buttercup has stayed ahead of her sister. She was never behind it. But now she has a chance to pass Mortimer, which she will take instantly, and if she hadn't been a little brake happy, she would also have passed Falcon. Falcon was held up by Alex, but that's still not enough, and Buttercup will take 5th place. Rigor Motor would have passed Blossom down that straightaway, but that's too late. This was a very tight pack for like the entire race, and it's kind of crazy. And now we're on to Classic Silverstone. Buttercup now 4 points away from Rigor Motor, and Bubbles is now 11 away from that. So now, remember, 60 points are the most you can score from a race. Or 60 points are the most you can score from any race. Or from... if you win every race, you'll get 60 points. If you don't have at least 30 right now, you cannot win the championship. Byrne, Madison, and Raceman can no longer win. At the end of this next race, it's likely that at least me and Carbon or Alex are probably out as well. So after this race is over, it'll be 45 points left to get. Like, logically out is anything like not in the top 6. But mathematically, anyone that's in like the top 12 can still win under incredibly unlikely circumstance. Skip. Well, Extra 3 and Blossom have some work to do. Buttercup is in good shape right now. To the pits. Da-da-da-da. Indeed, Buttercup gets a far superior launch over the rest of the cars around her. Raceman has some of the lowest power of any vehicle here, meaning that this is also kind of a bad track for being in this car. Though really his results have kind of proven that there haven't been any really good tracks at all for this car, but that's beside the point. Very classical affair for second through fourth. Bubbles is now about to possibly take seventh from Beat here. That she does. Mortimer is next, but I don't know if she has quite enough power for that. But, it's sort of looking at the moment like she does. Buttercup wants that points lead, and she is, yeah, she's definitely taking these points. I don't know if anyone has the speed to even think about stopping her from winning this race. And Deliverance working on taking fourth from Rigor Motor here. That didn't quite work though. He took a very non-linear path through that corner. Just have to try it at a later point. Bubbles is trying to go to the left of Mortimer on a right-hand turn. Never mind, Mortimer cut over there. As Bubbles is playing the entire time. She wanted him to go over there, and yoink. Kind of reminiscent of Act like 5? No. No? But basically it was an earlier act of the same track where Blossom did that to her, I think, or the other way around, and won by like just over 1/10 of a second. Deliverance is trying again against Rigor Motor. And again, I don't really think that, oh, no, there's that extra power, and I think that is going to be that position basically completely taken. Blossom is having some hard luck in this round, back down in 13th. Even I'm ahead of her right now, and that's never really a good sight. Okay, don't do that. Yep. I can just keep the camera here while we do this. I mean, Blossom to have the speed to even get into the... to draw alongside, so just me versus Raceman through the final corner of the track. And I have more powers, so I will... I think... No, Raceman has better handling. As long as the two of us are doing this, Blossom really can't get anywhere. And then our two veterans are last. Are they even trying at this point? I have to almost wonder. Of course, Alex has been trying, but maybe he just stopped. But I don't think Burn has really tried at all. Veteran's car are just really not that good. Which, I mean, I thought it was better than this, but I am clearly wrong. Also, oh my god, this is a lot of cars in one line. Alright, Carbon. Just gonna take that, I guess. This is how the world works now. It's the 8, 9, or 7 to 9 car train, depending on how you look at it. I would still say it's 7 right now. And, how did Rigor Motor get there? What happened on that lap? Bubbles gained a bit from that. She moves to 5th. Oh, that might have just been where she was before, just with a different group of people ahead of her. Buttercup will now only gain at most 5 points on Rigor Motor in this one, which will bring her to like 2 points away. Because none of the other cars back here seem properly able to catch back up that gap. Now Madison has just created a 7-car train going around Silverstone. Even if Mortimer and, or just Mortimer really isn't much of a factor in said battle. Carbon changing lanes drastically and, nearly running into Beat's car right there. Blossom has now passed both Raceman and myself. She might be able to score, assuming some crazy stuff happens up here between Beat, Mortimer, and Carbon. I'm thinking about it now. Like, the main reason why I guess Carbon wouldn't fit in with Hot Wheels is that, well, the name was the only completely improvised idea of the character. And at the same time, it's like... he's like another silhouette. He even drives, like, similar looking cars. They're always, like, flat black. It doesn't matter what kind of car it is, though preferably it would be kind of like, I don't know, I guess we put him in like, I don't know. Perhaps he could be like kind of a heavyweight driver like Gearhead is. Maybe say he was like, there's a black car in like another game that's large. Like, I guess he could drive anything, sort of like Danny and Gearhead would. But at the same time, he has to have his cars like flat black, because otherwise the whole carbon name doesn't really fit too well. I guess you could say that, granted he wasn't, of course, in World Race, but if he were, I would almost say put him in, Switchback, I suppose, but even when it comes to Stunt Track Challenge, Event 28, and, if Carbon even were to be involved in that for some odd reason, if he chose to do that, allegedly Switchback already has a driver, so... And again, Blossom cannot get any further progress because these two morons are battling in front of her and impeding her from gaining further positions. And then when they go and do that, it just gets even harder. However, that threw Mortimer off so bad that Blossom actually has something of an opportunity. What an opening for a guy literally filled with openings! Darn fish announcer. I guess Grease Lightning won't be winning that way. She's going for it again, but I think she jumped the gun. Oh, nope. Oh, 9 thousandths away. Mortimer just scored by 9 thousandths of a second. Oh my lord. I know who isn't going to throw the when they're done here. Sheesh. Alright, and that's for the points at the end of the 4th episode of this act. Tie? Rigor didn't get 4th, did he? Oh wait, did I forget how many points away Buttercup was? Because she just got 84. She had 84 and she just scored 15. Rigor Motor, if he finished 10th, would have had to... I got Buttercup at 82. I'm confused. Anyway. Now that I'm done mind blanking entirely, yeah, you can see I've made it kind of a short episode for the finale, so that I can actually do the, drift session afterwards. While I demonstrate a couple of extra, like, explain a couple of extra things, and it'll most likely be with either a crossbow or with that, Mercedes. The 190 Evolution that Rigor Motor is driving, which was Vert's car before, and Vert I don't think really did too well with it. I don't remember quite what the point standings were at the end. I know I had to like look back at that and see like just what the results were at the end of it all. I could do that on camera, I suppose. It would probably take a minute to find it. A bit early here. Getting near to where the final results are displayed. It's funny, it's 16 Angels and the Corvette that Mortimer is driving won the final round. I do believe. Yeah, Angels did win the final round. I didn't even include the final results in that episode. Son of a... So these are the final results. Danny in the Supra, which Deliverance is in now, won. 16 Angels was second in points, with Mortimer's car, who's at 8th right now. Vert was third in points, driving the same car that Rigor Motor is in, who's leading, technically. Ryan Storm was 4th in points in my car, which is 12th in points. Metacog was in the old Cobra, which is the vehicle that Falcon is in, which is 7th in points. That was in... I think he was actually in the same car Raceman is, but there's a big difference, because that was 6th, Raceman's the last. Burns in that same Countach, but he was 7th in points then, 14th in points here. Alex was only 8th in points. And he's in 10th here. XT3 was in a completely unique car. Race Cam isn't even here. Yeah, none of the other cars here are the same, so... all the top 8 cars are repeats. Everything below that are not. So now we're done with that. I will end the video and finish up next time tomorrow with the Jello, the modern Silverstone, and the 4 laps of the full version of Classic Monza. That'll be interesting and probably going to get not so interesting by halfway through the second lap.